Hey guys, Cole here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to port Fortnite models from UModel to Blender. It's really easy, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is open up UModel. By the way, when you do download UModel, which will be in the description, you want to put all 3 files that you get from it into your Fortnite folder, just because it automatically gets this. Or you can just copy and paste this path and into here, and it will take you to the files instantly. But if you put it in the Fortnite folder, then I'll just have this every time you do it. If you don't prefer that, I'll put this in the description. Okay, so once you have UModel open, you just want to click on Override Game Detection, and then these 2 boxes will light up and you can press on them. You want to click on this one, press Unreal Engine 4, and click on this one and press Unreal Engine 4.2.3. That's basically the version that Fortnite's made in of Unreal Engine. So then you just want to press OK. Here it's going to ask you for an AES key. I'm going to put a link in the description that will take you to a Discord server with AES keys. Basically they update it every time a new update for the game comes out, because every time the game updates there's going to be a new AES key with new files. So yeah, join the Discord for the AES keys. So here I have the AES key for the latest update, so I'm going to paste that in. It's going to look something like this, long, and then you just want to press OK. And it's going to show some loading here as it's accessing the files. Alright, now that you're in here, it's going to look really confusing, but just follow what I do and it's really easy. So I'm going to expand this so you can see more, because it takes up a lot of space when you're opening up these folders, so I recommend making it bigger. So you're going to start off in this game section. If you're importing a character, which is what I'm going to be doing, you want to open up your characters folder, and then player, and then male or female. None of these other stuff matter, just male or female. I'm gonna be porting Iris in this video because that's a good skin and it's easy to do. So I'm gonna open up female, and then medium. Most skins are in medium, by the way. Large and small are usually for save the world, so you just want to open up medium. And then you're mainly gonna focus on bodies and heads here. The other folders don't really matter. So I'm gonna start with the body. I'm gonna open up this, and now I'm gonna put a link in the description for a skin ID Google Sheets where you can see most of the skin names, because these aren't named after they are in the game, so it's kind of hard to find them, but this website really helps, so I'd use that. I already found what the name of the skin is, so I'm porting Iris, and the skin is actually called Hooded Bandit, or something like that. Hoodie Bandit. So yeah, here it is. So I'm going to open up this, and now you see there's a meshes folder. If I click on this, you can see what's in the meshes folder. Now mesh is basically the actual object that you can visibly see. So like this would be the entire outside of the model. So if I were to open up this, these ones don't really matter. It's just the hoodie bandit.us. So the other ones, like the physics and skeleton and stuff, don't matter. So just open up this one. If I double click it, you'll see here's Iris's body. You can move around here. This is just a viewer for it. So I can press O to get out of this menu and it'll take you back here. So I'm gonna export this, and also you see there's a drop down arrow for the meshes. If I open up this, there's also a parts. Click on this. This is the hood and the hair. Sometimes these will appear in accessories and then hats, but sometimes they appear in parts section under the meshes. So yeah. So I'm gonna press O again, and then get out of here, and I'm gonna right click this hoodie bandit folder, and then press export folder content, and then you want to create a folder where all of your exports are gonna go, and don't put anything else in that folder. So this is what I made for it. So this is where I export all my stuff to. So I'm just gonna put that in there and then press OK. It's gonna do some loading. Alright, so once that's done, it's exported. So now I'm gonna find the head, Now the heads are usually a lot more confusing because oftentimes skins use the same heads but a different texture. So the one for my skin that I'm using is the starfish head. These ASN ones here, this is ASN, are ones that are usually used in more than one skin. So if I go to skins, you see these are all skins that it's used in, but with different textures. So see if I go into skins here, there is Hoodie Bandit. And you see, it's just got a different texture for it. By the way, this is what the textures look like. I know, it looks really strange. So, now if I go into the meshes section, this is actually the head model without the hair. So I'll show you how to delete the hair, it's really easy. So, I'm gonna export the starfish head. I'm gonna just do the same thing again, press OK. Alright, so now that that's exported, we've exported every part of the skin that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Blender now. So now you're going to open up Blender and it's going to look like this. You just want to right click and delete all these objects here because you're not going to be using them, of course. Now, to import something, you want to get a plugin first. You're going to need a plugin. So if you go into Edit and Preferences, and then Add-ons, I forget they're called add-ons, not plugins. You want to search PSK. And then just check this, and then it'll install, and you can just close out of this. So now you should see an option in File Import, and then PSK. So I'm going to import the PSK, and then I'm going to find my folder where I export to, which will be UModel exports. You just want to go through here, Game, Characters, Player, Female, Medium, Bodies, and then Hoodie Bandit. And meshes, and then Hoodie Bandit, PSK. And then it's gonna be really big. You do want to zoom out because they're really big. We will be shrinking them later to make it easier for cameras and all that. But for now, we're just gonna leave it this big. So there's the body. You just want to do the same thing again. PSK. I'm gonna go into parts and then import the face accessory. There's that. And then I'm also going to import the head, so I'm going to go back here, go back a few times, go to heads, starfish head, meshes, and then I'm going to use 1. 2 isn't used for very many things, just a tiny bit different, so use 1. And then we have this, so you can see it but as you see here, it kind of looks like a Minecraft block. It's very not smooth, so we're going to smooth this out real quick. So you just want to highlight this by left clicking, highlight every part by shift clicking, and then right click and press shade smooth. And now it's all smooth, as you can see, it looks normal. Now, like I said before, there's going to be extra hair right here that we don't want because the model has different hair. So let me show you how you get rid of that hair. So as you can see, here's a list of the 3 parts. So we want to hide the face accessory because that kind of covers the hair and we don't want to see that. So we want to open this up. We have to hide the .ao and the .mo, and now we can see this. So you want to highlight the head here and then go to edit mode like this, and then it's going to look really weird like this, a bunch of lines and dots. So I just want to click off that. So click anywhere on the hair and then press L. And it's going to select most of the hair. It might only select some of it, but it should select almost all of it. Mine selected all of it. And then you want to press X and then vertices, and it'll delete the vertices. And now you can see she's bald. So we can go back into object mode, and it looks like this. Now, if you unhide this, you can see it looks normal. So if I were to click on the bones here, or anywhere in the body, if I were to click on the bones in the body and then go to pose mode, the bones are not actually connected, so it moves. Oh wait, if I grab the spine, it's not the spine, these bones are really laid out weirdly. If I move this, you see it only moves a certain part. It's really weird. And you can also see when I move that there's duplicate bones that don't need to be there, so we're gonna delete the duplicate bones as well. So we need to connect the models and delete the bones, so let me show you how to do that. Click on, so you want to remember the order you do this in, because we have to do the same order for the mesh and the bones. So I'm going to click on the body first, and then the head, and then the face accessory. You shift click them, select them all, and remember that order you did that in. and then press Control J. It'll merge the meshes, so now you can see it's one thing. Now the bones, so we're gonna click, you can also do it in here as well. So I'm gonna do it for the bones because the bones are kind of hard to select which ones because it's duplicates. So you can also do the bones here because there's duplicates, so it's hard to select the ones you want to select. So I'm going to click on the body one, and then the head and the face accessory, and then do Control J. Now you can see it's one thing here with one pose mode. But there are a ton of duplicate bones. There should be two or three duplicate sets of bones. So delete that, open up this, click on here, and it'll take you into edit mode for the bones. And now you want to find spine 05. You see up here it says spine 05. And you just want to be in this mode so you can select it easily. And then you just want to click this a few times until you see spine 05.001, which are basically the duplicate bones. So now you want to click select, and then similar, and suffix, and it'll select one pair of the duplicate bones. Then you just want to press X, and then bones. And then there's probably going to be a second set, so if we click on here again, see we got spine 05.002. Then we just want to do the same thing, select similar, suffix, and then press X, and then bones. So now there are 0 duplicate bones, but we now all the bones are in really weird places, and it does some really weird movement, as you can see there. The hair isn't connected, and so is some of the face. So we need to connect a bunch of the bones now. So open up this here, go back in edit mode. Open up this, and you see there's a bunch of bones around here. When we're done putting in the bones, you want to have one bone, and it's going to be roots. We don't want any other bones there after that. So basically all these bones are going to be they're going to be parented to different bones. So these ones that have hair in them, you just want to click on this bone tab here, and then relations, and then parent. We're basically going to pair all the hair. So we're parenting these to what makes sense. If it's I don't know if that seems obvious. So for the hair, we're obviously going to pair it to the head. So if we search here, head, there's a head bone. We're pair the hair to the head. So when you move the head, the hair moves with it, which you saw wasn't happening. The face attach goes to head as well. And then some of these aren't in every model, by the way. Some of them are extra bits. Like this one, I don't know why they have these, but this is a new model. They might have added new bones to most of the new ones or something. Because I actually don't recognize these. Oh yeah, it says pelvis new. That's interesting. So now you can see we only have root left, so we can close out of this, and let's go into pose mode and test out the bones, see if they all work right. So if I move this, is obviously going to do nothing because it's connected to nothing. There's a lot of pointless bones in here. So we move this, looks alright. Move the arms, looks alright. This arm looks alright. Leg looks alright. Let's see if these are correct. The foot. Okay. The foot is correct. And the head. So yeah, hopefully it turned out as good as mine did for you. If it did, then you definitely did it right. If it isn't moving like mine is, then you definitely did something wrong. You might want to Command Z a couple times, or sorry, Control. You want to Command Z or Control Z a few times to fix it. Alright, so now we've done the bones. That's the hardest part in my opinion. So I'm gonna hide the .ao, which is the bones, so now we can just see the mesh. And let's get on the texturing. So as you can see here, there's different viewports. This one is viewport shading, which is no textures. When I click on this one, which has textures on it, it's gonna turn white though, because we haven't actually put on the textures yet. So I'm going to click on here, on this thing down here, turn it to shader editor. I'm gonna lift this up, and then we can do some nodes. So that's basically what shading, or what texturing is. So I'm gonna start with the body. So just click on the mesh anywhere, and then click on this little red dot or circle here. It's gonna appear. This is the shading tab, also known as texturing. And you can see there's a lot of different parts of the thing here that we're gonna be texturing. So I'm gonna start with the body. So I'm gonna click on the Hoodie Bandit body. We're gonna have to texture these all eventually, but I'm gonna start with the body. I'm gonna press use nodes. Now you're gonna see here, if you zoom in, there's gonna be different nodes. Nodes are basically texturing and shading in a way. If you use Cinema 4D, this is a lot different than Cinema 4D, just so you know. So I'm gonna right click and delete principled BSDF. And now it's gonna turn black. That was basically the initial blank texture for it. So I'm gonna be adding FN shader, which is a really easy way to texture your things. There's gonna be a link for a download for FN shader. So to add that into your Blender thing, you just want to go File, Append, and then you can use the FN shader model. Just because it's faster for me to get to, I go to one of my already ported models and find one of my FN shader things there. But for you, you just use the FN shader you just download from the link. So it's going to do nothing once you import that using append. But once you do this, add search and FN shader. I use advanced usually because some textures have effects, so we want to use advanced, which can use effects. So you want to click on this, and it'll add this. We can drag and drop this anywhere. And now we want to click on shader. So now we want to click on this little shader dot and drag it to surface. And now you can see it has a texture. It's gray at the moment because we haven't added image textures yet. But right now it looks a little bit different. So I'm going to go into my file explorer, and I'm going to find my UModel exports, which is right here. So now I'm going to go into game, characters, player, female, medium, body, and then Hoodie Bandit, and you're basically going to just want to find the textures. So there are a lot of textures for this because there is also a hood down version. I'm doing the hood, these hooded versions. So you can see there's also the hair textures here, but you just want to find these body ones. Some of them look really weird. Yeah, like I said, this one has an effects texture, which is not going to make a huge difference, but we want to import it anyway. So I'm going to shrink this so I can drag them in. So I'm going to zoom out my node thing back here. I'm going to drag in all of these ones that have body in them. And this one. So there's all the body image textures. So this part, in my opinion, is fun. Don't ask why, but it is fun. So you see how this one ends in D right here. So you want to connect the color of the D one to diffuse. It's like alphabet, and you see this already has a texture. We're not done yet though. And then the S is going to go to spec map, and then the N is going to go to normal, and the M is going to go to misc, and then last of all, the effects goes to FX sheen over here. It's kind of far away. Oops, I need to drag this closer because it doesn't let me do it from a certain distance. There we go. So it lags a little bit when you import certain types of textures, so give it a second. Alright, so here it is. There's the body done. So that looks good. Looks pretty good. Now, there's a add-on you can install for this. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember. You could try and find it, but you can select these, then shift equals to organize them. It's nice. So I just like my things organized, don't ask why. So next I'm going to do the face accessories. So I'm going to click on here, and we're basically just going to do the same thing. Press use nodes, delete the principal BSDF, import FN shader again. I'm just going to get like a gray texture. And then we're going to do the same thing, import the hood. So as you can see, there's hood textures for this too. So D, FX, M, N, and S. So I'm just going to drag these to where they go again. D goes to diffuse, S goes to spec map, N goes to normal map, M goes to misc, and FX goes to FX sheen. And now you can see there's the texture for that all done. I'm going to sort these again. Next I'm going to do the hair. So I'm going to press use nodes, delete the principal BSDF, and just do the same thing over and over. So I'm going to speed this part up because it's the same process over and over, and I'm sure you don't want to see that. So yes, enjoy the amazing time lapse. Alright, so you probably saw in the time lapse I didn't shade the starfish hair, because you don't actually need to, because as you saw I deleted the hair. I just do it because I just like it clean like that, even though you're never going to be able to see a texture for that. But you don't have to do that. If you've deleted the vertices for anything like that, you don't actually have to. I just do it because I'm weird. But yeah, you don't have to. By the way, if you get a texture that ends in T, you don't need to parent that to anything. You can just close that, delete it, whatever. If you import it, you can just delete it. Alright, so we have finished texturing. You can now pull down this thing here, and here it is. This looks actually pretty good. I'm pretty proud of this, not even gonna lie. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. You can remove some of this glossiness, because you can see here some of the parts are really glossy. So if you want to, I kind of like the glossy. When you render it, it sometimes looks pretty good. But in here you can lower the glossiness of certain parts if you want to. I like to keep it as it is, so yeah, you can lower that if you want to. Some models are usually glossier than others, by the way. Alright, so you're almost done. There's one more thing you need to do. You need to press A on your viewport, and that'll basically select everything. By the way, you need to have this unhidden when you do it, because if it's hidden, it won't actually select it. So it selected everything, as you can see here, and then press S, and then type 0.01. Alright, and then you can just press the tilde on your keyboard, and it'll open up this thing, and then you can just press V selected, and it'll zoom up on it. So now we have it smaller, because yes, we want it smaller. So yeah, we have finished our model. Now if you're going to send this to other people, you have to do this thing as well. And you actually need, I think you need to do this for yourself too. Go to File, and then External Data, and then Pack All into Blend. that'll basically pack all the files you imported into the blend file. So our model is finished. So now we can go to File, Save As, and then we can just save it as whatever we want. So I'm actually going to save this because I might use it later for thumbnails, because I actually really like this skin. And if it comes in the shop, I'm probably going to buy it. So I'm just going to call iris.blend and then save this blender file. So now we can open this up anytime. We can pose it and do whatever we want with it. And yeah, it looks really good. Pretty proud of it. So if this tutorial helped you guys out, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be doing some more tutorials soon. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.